Hi everyone, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. As you know, I'm always in thrift stores looking for high-end style home decor for a lot less than retail, and I also love to do DIYs. This week's video is another set of low-key Christmas DIYs that are attainable, super easy to do, and cost very little. Come on and join me and let's get started. Well, welcome back to the channel. As you know, last week I shared with you several Christmas DIYs that you could easily do for not much money from home, and I have a few more ideas for you this week. So the first one is this ornament slipcover idea. So we all have these ball ornaments from previous Christmas years, and sometimes we just want to change them out, but we don't want to go through the hassle of like painting them and some of the other DIY techniques. You just might not be feeling all of that. Well, check your stash, your craft drawer, your party supplies. You might have some balloons on hand, or you could order some from Amazon or from a party store near you for not very much money. Some of them are beautiful with these different pearlescent finishes on them, and you can easily use these balloons, which do not cost much money at all, to be slipcovers for your ornaments. So only use plastic ornaments for this, never glass. They could shatter while you're doing this, and that would be very dangerous. Only plastic. But what you want to do for this project is just simply to cut off the neck part of the balloon, leave a little bit of it as shown like this so that it will cover the whole top of the ornament, but not too much, or else you won't be able to get it around the ornament. And so just give it a little stretch beforehand so that it's nice and warmed up. It makes it easier to put it on, but then just flip your plastic ornament upside down and stretch out the balloon and cover it up with the little neck part facing upward. This gives it a nice kind of matte finish, which is very in right now. And again, you can use like a shinier balloon with a pearlescent finish if you want something shinier, but this is a little bit of a different idea, but I thought that it was kind of cool and someone out there might want to try this. Change them to any color that you want with just balloons. Now next up is an idea for some bells made out of placemats. I know that sounds kind of strange, but last week I shared with you these rattan bells that I found at the thrift shop, and then we talked about how if you couldn't find any like that, you could use baskets flipped upside down. This week's bells are a lot different, so I found these. These were a vintage set for sale on eBay, also similar ones on Etsy, just that kind of wrapped style, and to me it immediately reminded me of some seagrass placemats that I have. Now placemats are something that I can find pretty easily in my thrift shops. Hopefully you can too, for not much money at all. And you don't necessarily need a full table settings worth of these, so you could just use two to make a couple of bells or just one bell. So what I'm doing is I'm just rolling these up in a similar shape to that inspiration photo and using some hot glue to secure them on the ends. If you want these to last through storage and for multiple seasons, you might want to supplement that with some E6000 glue in there as well to really hold them very tight. I'm just using some strong alligator clips there to hold those in place for a while they dry, and also kind of holding with my finger for a minute, and that worked totally fine. Now you could leave one as is to be like the inspiration photo, or you could take a second placemat and circle it around kind of from the other side, wrapping onto the first one, and that will let you end up with sort of a scallop shape when you view that bell from the side as shown. And I think that both ways are cute, and all I'm doing here is just adding on top of that a few pieces of velvet ribbon at the top to accent these. And I think that this is a cute sort of bell that you can do on your own, maybe with some placemats that you already have that you're not using anymore, or something from the thrift shop, but very simple. Hang these in a little cluster of 2 or 3 somewhere, and I think that it will make a nice pop for your Christmas holiday. This next idea is going to be perfect if you're into the rustic and nature-inspired look for your Christmas decor. I talked in my Christmas trends video, which is linked above, about how this one is definitely still going strong with the organic and natural touches such as pine cones and dried oranges, strung cranberries, and that sort of thing in your Christmas decor. Within that video, I showed these photos, and this one in particular on the right-hand side, I really was inspired by. This is from House of Jade, and they're selling the garland there in this image, but I was really drawn to those baby pine cones that are all throughout. I thought that really made it pop, and so I immediately started looking to see whether I could buy those from them or something similar somewhere else. I didn't find a lot of the really tiny baby pine cones like that. I did find this set from A Floral, which is about $18 per stem, so you can decide if that's a good deal or not. But me being me, I wanted to see if I could recreate something like that on my own for a bit less, and so I turned to Amazon and I found this box of 200 of these mini baby pine cones for $9.99. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking some stems from the backyard, just some twigs that happen to have lots of little arms, and I'm just going to be gluing them on. It might be nice to use a faux stem, like a longer sort of garland, if you have sort of the skeleton from that you can use. It would store better in the long run, but I didn't have anything to use, so I'm just using natural ones, and I'm going to be using them kind of like sprays to just put into my garland. So the hot glue works perfect because these are such lightweight little guys, and I'm just trying to space them out so that they're not completely even and false looking, but just a little bit more organic. So I'm bunching two together at some points and then having more space, just kind of more randomly, more organically. And so I was really happy with the way that these turned out, and I'm going to be making a lot more of these and just nestling these into my garland. Especially I'm thinking for the mantle at Christmas time this year, as well as maybe some pieces in the garland that's going up the staircase. But I thought that this was such an easy idea that some of you might want to try. I just love the way those baby pine cones look nestled into the garland. Let me know if you're going to give this a shot for this Christmas season. One of the things that I'm loving in designer photos where they're decorated for the holidays this season are all of these vintage art prints that are framed in the background. I think they're so pretty and so homey. This one in particular though, $40, and it's a very small size, so you can get them for cheaper than this one from McGee & Co. But nonetheless, I want to pick out my own and frame my own art. I like to turn to Etsy for those images that are already cleaned up for me, ready for me to just print out at the place of my choice. I really liked this mistletoe print from North Prints in particular, and then also this bell from the 19th Collective. I'll link to both of those shops for you. But once you've picked out your images, and I'm going to link to some that I really love just for your convenience, but you just print them wherever you'd like. I like to use CVS because they often have some sort of a sale going on, like right now 70% off on all prints, which is excellent, and you can get them at whatever size you want. So I also like to use Canva and open a whiteboard on that just to play with design and see what looks good next to each other. I plan to do a big set of 3 prints behind my sofa in the family room, and here in this footage I'm just playing with how I'm going to line those up. So I'm going to be picking one of those groupings that I'll show you in my decorating video, but I did go ahead and print out these two that I really love. They're from different sellers, but they both have a black matte background. I think they look so pretty together. This next idea is another one that is super simple. So you know how we end up with these candles that we like the smell of, but we don't necessarily like the look of. They're not very aesthetic. That one on the right was brand new for $5. It's normally $25, so I thought that was a good deal. The one on the left is a pumpkin one that I've burned down pretty far, and I like the smell to continue into the Christmas holiday, but not necessarily the wheat stalks on the outside. So I'm going to be rating my sock drawer for this. It's kind of embarrassing, but I have several pairs of socks that have a wintry vibe to them that are really past their expiration date, and so I'm going to be using those for these projects. This one has like a wintry pattern of a snowflake sort of on the outside, so I'm going to be using that one. Just taking it with the finished seam going upward, flip your candle upside down, stretch it out a little bit first, and you just push it right up onto the side there, and you've made yourself a very simple little cozy for your candle that covers up whatever unaesthetic thing you don't want to see on the sides, but you still get to burn the candle and it looks beautiful. I'm also going to be using this ribbed black one. This is another one that's kind of loose and really needed to be gotten rid of anyway, but I'm glad I didn't, because it's going to make an adorable little candle cozy. And if you use a ribbed kind of knitted one like this, when you're burning the candle, you can still see some of the light glowing through from the sides. So I'll just show you what these look like once they're styled and lit, and this might be an idea that you could use this holiday season to cover up some candles that you have on hand that you really need to burn and go through, but wouldn't really match your decor otherwise. And that about wraps up today's video. I really wanted to have a few more of these on hand for you, but we've not only been sick in our household, but also been scrambling to install new flooring throughout our whole first floor on our own. So it's been quite a week around here, and don't worry, I will definitely be showing you guys the reveal of the flooring as soon as it's done. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I have lots of thrifty ideas every week for you. Let me know if you like this video by hitting the thumbs up if you did. Have a great week, everyone. I will see you at the next video.